All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is another of these World Cup prediction things, isn't it? My cat's just come in. She's moaning about something. Hello. We're back with Germany versus Ivory Coast this time because that is the next one on the list. I don't really. What do you want? Anyway, so yeah, let's get into it. I can't remember what group this is now. I've been distracted. I think it's Group E. She walked in just to walk back out. Fair enough. Bear with me, guys. I've been thrown off my train of thought here now. Yeah, Group E for this one. Germany, I believe, won their first game against Curacao in this simulation, and I can't remember what happened in Ecuador and Ivory Coast, so I will go look back at my channel. See what happened there. Obviously, in real life, it was Ivory Coast that won. So, if it was real life, these guys would be going against each other to see who would be in the round of 32. But I can't remember who won in my simulation, so we'll go check that momentarily. First, settings, 10 minutes, legendary, competitive mode on, player base difficulty on, quick substitutes on, the CSL ball still. We're not going to use the Deutsche Park because we're not in Germany. Where is the Decathlon Arena? Because that could be. I've probably already tried this one before. Yeah, I've been throwing off all my rhythm here. I blame that cat. Decathlon Arena is apparently in France, so that can't be used either. We'll just go for the big one, the World Cup final stadium. It's the closest one. And I meant to check for the rest of the settings as well. Make sure the pitch is all hunky-dory. A bit later for this one because it's a bit later in real life. Clear weather, Nike Flight CSL, natural grass, pitch colour bright green. And that is how we do with the settings. So before we go in, let's take a look at the teams. And while you quickly read the teams, I'm going to quickly read why my phone's turned itself off. Like to do that out of absolute fucking nowhere. So those are your teams for this one. Yeah, Germany, slightly stronger, and by slightly I mean a lot stronger. Oh no, I do remember what happened in the simulation now for the Ivory Coast one, but we'll get to that momentarily. Neuer in goal, a bit concerning still, I would say, but he's come back for the World Cup, so just let him have his last World Cup in it. Defensively strong are Germany, so they've got Neuer, Brown, Schlotterbeck, Ta, Kimmich, Pavlovic, and Mecca, Verts, Musiala, Sane, and Havertz. Bit concerning, and the striker role, of course, Havertz is decent, but he's not, top tier. The other option is Voltamada, so it's kind of a 50-50. What are all these bot messages that I'm getting, man? For Ivory Coast, it's Fofana, Konan, and Dika, who's the captain, Kasunu, Due, Sangare, Kessier, Fofana, Toure, Ahmad, and Bonnie. No Yan Diamande starting, which is interesting. However, he'll probably come off the bench. Surely you would assume. You would assume he'd come off the bench. So those are your teams. I would say Germany definitely the stronger of the two, and more likely to win. I would say. I'll be honest. I think I'm going to predict Germany win, but we'll get into the predictions momentarily. But Ivory Coast, I do remember what happened now because they beat Ecuador 4-0 in my simulation, and Kessier, of all players, got all four. So there was that. As well, Germany only beat Curacao 1-0. So in simulation, Ivory Coast actually have the goal difference advantage. In real life, of course, it's very much Germany's. But we'll get into this one and see who is going to get to the round of 32. The Central Mall Stadium, 10-minute half length, legendary difficulty, authentic game type, sunny at 6 p.m. It is Germany versus Ivory Coast.
Building to a crescendo all week, and very shortly it will be for real. We have all the action for you live. Hello, it's great to be with you, and no problems at all on the weather front as we get ready for this match. I'm Derek Ray, and my commentary partner here on the gantry is the former Arsenal and West Ham player Stuart Robson. And no question, this ought to be a game that gets pulses racing. It's Germany, and they take on Côte d'Ivoire.
Well, I'm excited by this encounter today. Both teams have a good game plan. Both teams can be physical, and both teams have creative players. It could be a case of who wants it more.
Let these teams do national anthems and then we'll speak on further.
Here's the starting lineup for Germany.
Teams then, we already know them. This is what Julian Nagelsmann has picked for Germany. And I'm not convinced again by the attacking options, but again, not got much else available. Quite a barren spell for strikers in Germany at the moment. Bayer is going, he's decent, I think. I don't know if you trust him though. Beyond that, it's a difficult one. Well, Ivory Coast aren't faring much better, but they've got a good kind of attack around the striker. And Bonnie is getting there. Don't get me wrong, he's getting there. I don't know if he's quite there just yet though. And Mercier has picked this team to go against Germany. Maybe looked at the way that he won the first game against Ivory Coast and made some changes. Diomande on the bench, Pepe, Wahi on the bench as well. Surprised Diomande isn't starting, but he isn't starting. And it is going to be a tough one for both teams. Winner probably gets into the round of 32. They'll be on 6 points anyway, so I don't see how they wouldn't be in the round of 32. Yeah, prediction on this one. I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go for Germany win. Because, don't get me wrong, Ivory Coast could be a really good surprise package in this tournament. But Germany did... I know it was Curacao before we all go, it was Curacao. Germany won 7-1 in it, so... I think they're not going to hold back this year, whether they've got a striker or whether they've not. It's going to be a lot closer. I'm going to... excuse me. I'm going to say 2-1 Germany, I think. I'm either between a 2-1 or a 3-1. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Germany win. I think they'll just get over the line. I know Ivory Coast have some good attacking options, but Germany have a good defence on their day as well. So it depends what Germany turns up, really. Because even though they did win 7-1, they did still concede to one of the smallest nations, probably the smallest nation to ever play in a World Cup. So I don't know, but it really depends on how Neuer does as well, or if they decide to go someone else, not Neuer, in goal. I'm going to stick with my 2-1 Germany, but it's going to be very, very close. Ivory Coast will make a good fucking account of themselves, if nothing else. So I say as well, while we're on the subject of the World Cup, which is all we're really talking about, it's not like a changed subject. I'm recording this on the 17th of June. Last night / this early morning was Argentina versus Algeria in real life. Lionel Messi, hat-trick. Are you fucking kidding me? At the age of 39 or 38, whatever he is, he's around that. He's nearly 39 if he's not 39 already. Still killing it, getting a hat-trick against Algeria. He moves himself to the joint highest goal scorer at a World Cup, well, all overall, with 16. He now levels the record with Miroslav Klose. 16 goals in all the World Cups he's been in. However, I think that will get beaten eventually. But at the moment, Messi has levelled that. And there is arguments that he should have been sent off. I've seen the challenge. It's 50-50. You've seen people sent off for those. You definitely have. But it's Lionel Messi. You really think he's going to get sent off at the World Cup? Don't be fucking silly.
tidy to
But
lose
yeah,
the ball.
16 goals now. I think Mbappe would probably be the next one to either tie it or potentially be the first one to overtake it if Messi doesn't score again this World Cup. But the record is in very big danger.
Read that pass all the way.
Messi has equalled it. So a bit of football news there for anyone who didn't watch the Algeria-Argentina game. Anyway, focus on the match at hand as Touré's got a knock here for the Ivory Coast. Just keeping an eye on that. Nothing really too attacking just yet from either side. Both just playing their way into the game, which is fine. Just don't do it for 90 minutes. If you do it for like the first 30, that's fine. But if you keep passing it around the back by the time we get to the 83rd minute or something, and it's 0-0, I will be clawing my eyes out. With all due respect, I've got to watch 104 of these simulations. I don't want all of them being passing around the back affairs. I'd like some attack. I'd like some excitement, some drama. I know it's not always going to be the case, but just sometimes, you know. As long as the good outweighs the bad. But again, it's actually a really good press from Ivory Coast. Germany struggling to get out of it. Kessié could win that, and Mecca does instead. And yeah, it's not good from Jonathan Tah as Kessié finds Touré. Seems to have run the knock off. It's into Conan. Sangare. Kessié. He is the talisman for some reason at this World Cup for the Ivory Coast. Couldn't tell you why. But he seems to be the only one able to put the ball in the back of the net in these simulations. It's really well played. It all came from Jonathan Tah misplacing the pass away. Germany took too long at the back, and it's a really good bit of play, a really good movement all around from all the Ivory Coast players. And the man who has scored all their goals so far in simulation adds another one to his tally. And Germany go a goal down, and Pavlovic is a poor pass because Ahmad intercepts. Ivory Coast could just go straight for a second here, straight for the jugular. And the reason that they didn't bring on Diamande and other players is because, quite frankly, they might not need them. Germany concede again. Played it against Curacao. Fofana. Ahmad all the way out to Touré. What's the play here? He's good. Just play it back to his fullback, I think. Yeah, 1-2. Well done again. Kessié. Fofana. Ahmad try to get past. Jonathan Tah uses his strength to prevent that occurring, but it's not away at all. Kimmich, a very lazy pass. Kessié in to Bonny. It's going to be Kimmich to get it away again. Yeah, Germany have not started off well here. Obviously a goal down and can't seem to get out of this press. It's really well done by Emers Faez. Ivory Coast. I don't know how you pronounce the manager's name. It might be Faye. It might be Emers Faye. What I do know is that Musiala's going to Nathaniel Brown on the left hand side here. It's closed down by Kasunu. Brown wins it back though. Musiala can't get there first, and it's Fofana that will get it away. Although he's played it backwards, which is a bit concerning, with the press coming on from Kai Havertz. Fofana out to Amad Diallo. Doué. Fofana. Doué again. Fofana. Ahmad. Playing around the houses here at the moment. Sangare to Bonny. Ndika. Kasunu. I don't like the fact that Kasunu's wearing number 7. And that's not a choice I made. He's actually wearing that at the World Cup. That's not a randomly generated kit number. It's very concerning. Florian Wirtz down the left does have options if he wants to use them. It's blocked by Kasunu to Musiala, who gets the ball again. And it had the Ivory Coast keeper scrambling. But it's the wrong side of the post for Jamal Musiala. Still remains 1-0 to Côte d'Ivoire here. Half an hour in, going to move the stick so it doesn't idle off. Try to remember to do that now. Quite a quick half as it goes, to be honest. Half an hour in. And it's 1-0 to the team you probably wouldn't expect it to be 1-0 to. Well, I don't know actually. Quite a few people have said Ivory Coast could be shock. Have a shock run. I agree with them. I think they'll be second out of the group over Ecuador now that they've got that win over them.
Wirtz.
I don't see them losing
Now with
to
Kimmich.
Curacao.
Mecha.
With all due respect to Curacao. I also don't see Ecuador losing to Curacao, so realistically, it's Ecuador that has to beat
Leroy
Germany.
Sané.
Or Ivory Coast that has to beat Germany as well. I mean, they might both end on 4 points in real life. However, right now, in simulation, Ivory Coast are on 6, and they're in the round of 32 as it stands. Sané, Musiala, that could all change in a moment here, as Germany now getting their attacking pressure in. Good defence again though. Tar picks it up, however, for Germany, and it could be straight back in for this one. Leroy Sané could find the ball in the middle if he wanted to, but he goes backwards.
Leroy Sané. Well, that's a clever
Running out of
ball.
room here. Havertz, Pavlovic, off to Wirtz.
Mecha.
Passing it around, trying to find some space here, trying to get an effort off. You know it's going to be some shitty pass that ends this attack.
Nice looking move.
Just waiting for it. There it is. Wins it back though, does Pavlovic. Fair play. Gets it off of Toure. Just seems to be never be able to get it central for a shot here, Germany. Which means Ivory Coast are doing the job well. Wirtz, his pass gets closed down by Sangare, and now it could be a counter-attack for Ivory Coast for Ahmad. How far can he take it? Not far enough.
Wasn't going to have that taken off him, was he?
And they've decided to play it backwards. Right.
Ndika.
You got a counter-attack and they're actually like, no, you know what? Not for me. Toure. Sangare now. Fofana going to move it forward. Can Kessié find Bonnie? It looks... Well, it looked for a ball through to Ahmad there, but cut out.
And teammates around him.
Now Wirtz. Goes inside to Musiala. You'd think with this German midfield, they'd be creating a bit more. Hasn't happened yet. He worries yet. I think it will. And Mecca.
Now with Havertz.
Havertz back to Mecca. Pavlovic. It's actually really well. It's a really good defensive shape from the Ivory Coast. I don't know why Sané gets the ball and then takes it to the corner flag every time though. That can't be good. That can only be a pain in the arse for the rest of his team. Kessié tackles Havertz. It's going to be away, only as far as Pavlovic. But Ivory Coast now defending with 11 men, so it's not going to be easy for a breakthrough now.
Pass intended for Sané.
I mean, technically they're defending with 10 men. The goalkeeper's already there. Sané. Oh, beautiful from Leroy Sané. Gets inside. Musiala just needs to get one more. It's not managed. That was really good work though from Leroy Sané to cut inside. But not to be for Germany there, and I don't think it'll be for Germany before the break. Ivory Coast just need to see this out now for half time. It's a very good half.
Well, just 1 minute of time added on for stoppages here.
Oh god,
Happy to
yawning.
play keep ball, and
Yawning
why not?
machine.
Clever defending.
Could be last attack of the half here, but they don't even have to attack, and they're not going to.
So the whistle then.
And it'll be 1-0 at the break for the Ivory Coast. It's a big, big goal as well from Kessié once again.
Honestly, it has been a struggle for Jamal Musiala.
Yeah,
to
Musiala
produce
been
his best
struggling.
football.
He has to
Had the
impose
shot off
himself
target,
on
but that's
this
about
game.
it.
He's been far
Germany
too
haven't
quiet
been able
so
to break
far.
down this Ivory
If they are
Coast
to get back into
shape.
this, he needs
Really
to
well
make
done
something happen and
from the
start
leaders of
getting
this
some
game
shots away.
currently. And it could be concerning for Germany because if they fuck it up against Ecuador, it could all go to shit. Taking a look at the stats at the break, not a lot of shots on goal. 52 to 48 turns of possession for Côte d'Ivoire. Just more the ball in Germany, a shot each. It is a very, very close game. However, the shot from the Ivory Coast and from Frank Yannick Kessié has found the back of the net again. He scored 5 already in this simulation because he got 4 past Ecuador. And God knows how many he's going to get past Curacao, man. But it is just a slight advantage. And the XG as well, 0.8 XG to 0.1. Germany need to dig deep here if they're going to keep in the tournament. I quite like this though. I quite like the Ivory Coast to winning. I'm going to be honest. I know I'm meant to be neutral, but it's quite nice to have the shock. Frank Kessié, man of the match so far. Very good midfield performance again. Getting the goal, tracking back. He's done everything. He's done everything. He's not as good in real life as he used to be, but in game apparently he is quite literally the best midfielder in the World Cup. 7.9 for him. Seko Fofana 7.6. Ibrahim Sangari 7.2. That midfield triangle's been pretty decent. Kasunu 7.2 at the back as well. Ahmad with the assist and a 6.9. Everyone else kind of average. Evan Ndika solid, I guess. 6.9. Hasn't done anything wrong yet, to be fair. But the rest of the team slightly slower down. Bazumana Torre still carrying that knock. We'll be keeping an eye on that the second half. Yaya Fofana hasn't had anything to do, so he has not got a rating really, 6 rating. And Johan Boni hasn't really been involved in the attacks either, so he's on a 6 as well. Man of the match for Germany is Felix and Mecca. He's been the best player, I would say. Actually, I would say Pavlovic has been better than Mecca, to be honest, but just me there. 7.6 on Mecca, 7.2 for Pavlovic, 7.2 for Sane, who is trying his best off that right-hand side. Jonathan Tah as well at the back. May have been the fault for the goal, but other than that, like, it's not a big thing. It is a big thing. He has been a lot more defensive than Schlotterbeck, but he did give away the goal. So I think it should knock his rating down a little bit. Kimmich has been poor as well, for what you'd expect from him. Schlotterbeck, not great. Nathaniel Brown and Florian Wirtz on the left-hand side, not as good as they could be. Musiala has been struggling. Havertz has not really been involved. And then Manuel Neuer has only had one shot against him, and it's gone in. So, again, question marks around bringing Manuel Neuer to the World Cup. Question marks around starting him as well. But there'll be question marks on whether Ivory Coast can continue to hold this lead as well in the second half. 45 more minutes to play. And no changes to be made yet from either side. Will there be drama in this one? Or will Ivory Coast manage to see this out and confirm their spot in around the 32?
So the second half underway with Germany chasing.
It'd be interesting to see.
Can they turn this around? Kono, Toure, and now Ndika, Seko Fofana, Ibrahim Sangare. It's with Ndika. Fofana.
Here we go again then. Ivory Coast, if they can get a second, then Germany have got an uphill struggle. If they can score out the blocks here, Fofana to Ahmad to Sangare. It's closed down by Kimmich. They need to be very, very careful this doesn't get away from them here, Germany, if they want to get to the round of 32 today. They need to turn this around with a couple of goals. They haven't looked like scoring one yet, though. Leroy Sané into Musiala on one more. Through to Mecca, looking for Wirtz. Doesn't find him, and it's away. Just need a bit more intent from Germany.
Well, when you're leading, you can afford to be
if they're, well, from a German standpoint anyway. As a neutral, it would be cool if Ivory Coast won. So if this stays, it stays. I'm cool with it. Obviously, it's a simulation anyway, so it's not necessarily going to happen. It's all for bants, all for vibes. Konan, Toure, out to Kasunu. This is match number 2 of probably the 6 I'm going to record. My plan is to do 3, go to the gym, and then come back and do the other 3. Whether that comes to fruition, I don't know. This is the second of the first stage of 3. If I can do 6 on the days that I'm off, the 6 when they're all bundled up on the final group stage day won't seem as difficult. At least I've got a little wiggle room then. Obviously, the upload schedule will continue as always 2 days before the official match begins. I don't want to sit in all day recording on both my days off really, but if the weather's shite, which today it's not great, I can allow it. And Mecca nearly gets in. Doesn't get the shot off in time. If the weather's good, it is subject to change, so I might go outside. Spend the day out somewhere.
Odilon Kusunu. Fofana with it.
Fofana, Doué, Ahmad. Fofana, Doué can play us inside. Doesn't, plays it outside. I hate when they do that. And then Ahmad fucks up the pass. I hate when there's an obvious pass in the middle and they decide to go outside and try and build it again for some reason. All he has to do is lay that into Bonnie and it might be 2-0, but again, I think maybe Bonnie might have been marginally offside, which is why that pass didn't happen. I can understand if the man's offside. I'm not that unforgiving. I'm not that brutal. However, if he's onside, play the man in, for fuck's sake. Still no changes as we approach the hour mark, but for Germany, they need something, and they need something now. Catalyst in this match. Sane and Mecca. Havertz. What the God's green fuck it. I respect the fact that he's shooting, because at least someone's shooting. But that was not very good. It was very rushed. It kind of bobbled as it came to him. And it's over the top from, I would say, King Kai. He is a Premier League winner now, but struggling here against Ivory Coast. Did score the Champions League final, to be fair to him. You've got to respect that, but hasn't scored yet this World Cup. I don't think he scored the goal in the 1-0 over Curacao. I could be wrong. No, it was Undav. I'm not wrong. I remember Undav scoring.
It can be so difficult to play against a confident passing team when you're trailing. Seko Fofana. Kusunu. Ndika. Odilon Kusunu. Might be onto something.
Ahmad back to Fofana. They played it backwards again. As soon as I start commentating, they start passing it backwards. Fucking, they know I'm watching. They know what I'm doing. They're like, yeah, well, let's fuck him off.
Will it happen for them? Untidy in possession. A sloppy passage of play.
Well, I have to say it's been a poor passage of play. They just need to relax on the ball a bit more.
Just checking the dart scores as well at the same time while nothing's happening, but now Verts is making something happen. Musiala could do something. Havertz takes it inside, can't get a shot off, and it's away again. I thought Musiala might have a crack from there, to be honest. He didn't, obviously.
Seko Fofana.
And that's Ivory Coast. Again, both teams want to make subs. But you know, in these bloody games, the ball rarely ever goes out.
Songare. Seko Fofana. And now Ndika. And into the last 20
Especially
minutes.
when Ivory Coast are just holding out desperately for this 1-0 win. Knowing that it will probably get them. It should get them. I don't know why it wouldn't. Around the 32 spot.
And losing possession. And possibilities here.
Verts finds the ball for Musiala. Oh, it's a great save from Fofana. It's a very good save. A snapshot from Jamal Musiala is stopped. Havertz comes off for Undav. And it looks as if Conan's coming off for the Ivory Coast as well. For Singo, I think it is in the background. Corner to Germany. Kimmich towards Jonathan Tah. Again, just off target. Germany getting frustrated here, but they're building up to something, it feels like. Although I said that at the end of the first half, I thought Germany would equalise. We're into the second half, and they haven't yet. $18 minutes to do so. Obviously, if it ends in a draw, neither team will confirm their round of 32 spots today. A win for either of these sides would do it. A win for neither of them wouldn't, obviously. Be on 4 points. They're probably fine on 4 points, but it wouldn't mathematically do it, is what I'm meaning. You're on 6 points and you're pretty much guaranteed, pretty much mathematically confirmed. How I'm thinking on it anyway.
Wilfried Singo.
This afternoon or this evening will be spent doing the result tables for both the simulation and real life. I know games will continue going on in real life, so I'll have to keep updating that, but that'll be my chore this afternoon / evening. Once I finish recording, and whilst either before or whilst the World Cup games are going on. I won't be doing it while the England game's on. I'm fully focused on that one because that's at 9 PM tonight. And it's obviously England versus Croatia. Predicted that already. It should be uploaded already. Well, it will be uploaded already. In the simulation, it was 2-2. Oh yeah, I've got a yawning attack coming on. In real life, I predicted 2-1, but maybe a bit of bias. In fact, there was a bit of bias behind that pick. I don't know if it's going to be as cut and dry because I don't really like the squad, or all of the squad that Tuchel's picked, but I just don't know. What I do know is that there's 11 minutes left here for Germany to not pass it around the back and instead move the ball forward and make something here. If they want to not lose this game. If Ivory Coast win it, though, it's a massive win. It is a ginormous win as it propels them to around the 32, and it leaves Germany needing a win over Ecuador, which could make for some very interesting football. Because presumably Ecuador will beat Curacao, and that will leave Ecuador needing a win over Germany. Pavlovic coming off for Goretzka. Toure finally coming off. Probably because of that injury. Yan Diomande coming on for the last 9 minutes. And I think at one point they probably would have brought him on earlier, but because they're 1-0 up, they may be resting him for the round of 32 if they know they're going to make it. We've got Curacao to face yet, though. So if they win here and then they face Curacao, it'll be 9 points on the board. Undav gets stopped by Ndika. Yeah, it could be 9 points on the board for Ivory Coast in the simulation. Ahmad coming off for Nicolas Pepe.
Now sending it in.
Gontar, oh again, first to the header, but off target from the Bayern Munich man. Met it really, really well, but it flies past the post, and with 7 minutes left, it looks as if, and I don't really want to jinx it, but it looks as if Ivory Coast will get it over the line. Massive. Oh, the game's trying to idle itself. Lovely. Didn't want it to do that, really, but it's trying. Trying my fucking patience today.
And he read it well.
Not getting too angry.
And Brown in possession. Now with Schlotterbeck. Goretzka.
Germany. Maybe only got a couple more rolls of the dice. Single blocks that one. Diomande. Kessié. Out to Diomande. Inside to Boni. A lot of players have been a non-factor today, but especially for what I'm thinking for Ivory Coast, Johan Boni hasn't really been involved, but I don't think he'll care. I don't think they'll care if they win this match. Boni try to find it through to Kessié, the only goal scorer for Ivory Coast at this World Cup in the simulation. Nobody else is allowed. Boni, Fofana. All they need to do now is just keep it up the pitch. They don't even need to make an attack here. They just need to make sure they don't get attacked, and that is what's happened here. Now Florian Wirtz are going to win the ball back, and Germany could steal it late. Florian Wirtz finds Musiala. Now Undav doesn't have the ball through. Doesn't have the run through either. Kasunu closing it down again. I think it was Kasunu. Injury time beckoning. How long will it be? Probably not very long. There's not been a lot of stoppages. 2 minutes of added time.
2 minutes the word. Well, made it look routine.
It's away by Kimmich. Now Germany have to do it, and it has to be now. Sane.
Making use of his physical strength to hang on to it.
Inside to Wirtz. Needs to go forward. Can't go back. Goes back. Brown. Musiala. Wirtz. Into Undav. Goretzka. Musiala's poor pass is cut out by Doué, and that will do it. Well then, folks, it is a win for the Ivory Coast, and it is a round of 32 spots secured. And even if it isn't quite over the line, which I'm sure it is, they've got Curacao next. They've done everything right of the Ivory Coast here. They've got Curacao next. If they don't beat Curacao out of all the teams they've played, that would be quite funny. But I think they should be fine. Oh boy. 1-0 to the Ivory Coast over Germany then. That is humongous for the landscape of this group. Because it means Germany are catchable. It means Germany could go out with the right results elsewhere. you just never know at this World Cup. Take a look at the stats. It's not like they didn't try. Oh, excuse me. They just weren't very accurate when they did try. 57 to 43 in terms of possession for Ivory Coast. You knew what their game plan was going to be going through that second half. Just try and keep the ball away from Germany. And they did it. They did it really well. So I was moving my microphone. 5 shots to 1 in favour of Germany, however. But you can see by the expected goals that none of them were really good chances. None of them were really telling chances in this one. A 0.8 XG for both sides. But the telling scoreline, or the telling stat, is the scoreline at the top, where Ivory Coast possess 1 goal and Germany have 0. We go and look at the performances then. Seko Fofana, man of the match for Ivory Coast. I will give a lot of credit to the midfield for playing keep ball. 7.9 for Seko Fofana. 7.7 for Kessié, and a goal. Dika, Doué, Kusuru, Sangare, all very strong defensive components towards the end, and in the end, it was a dub. 7.2 for Aldo, yeah, we read them all. Amado at 7.1, got an assist, did get hooked, but maybe that's to try and keep him fit for the final game against Curacao, as well as actual round of 32 games to come. And well, they would be if the simulation counted for real life. Conan 6.8, Yahya Fofana 6.8, Wilfred Singo 6.6. Not great from him, but he did get subbed on. Conan not great, but he got subbed off. Bonnie wasn't really involved. All the substitutes, you can't really give him a fair shake because they didn't really get enough time to have a fair shake. Johan Bonnie maybe could have done more, but at the end of the day, he won't care. His team's won it. Yahya Fofana, 1 shot on his goal that had to be saved, and he did indeed save it. So, can't complain. For Germany, very underwhelming, very poor in the end, because they haven't won here and they haven't already confirmed their spot in around the 32, at least within the simulation. 7.2 Mecca, 7.1 Pavlovic, 7 for Ta, 7 for Leroy Sané, Wirtz with 6.8, 6.8 for Kimmich, 6.8 for Schlotterbeck, 6.7 for Musiala. I could go on and on, just not good enough in all aspects today. And then Manuel Neuer right at the bottom with the 1 shot at his goal, unable to be stopped, and that's what made the difference. And it is a 1-0 win for the Ivory Coast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up another prediction in simulation. Ivory Coast will be in the round of 32, and I think what I'm going to do is I will make a little tournament bracket of the teams that would have made it, and maybe we'll do like a quick sim type tournament to see who would win it in the simulation. But for the full matches like these, we'll be using the actual teams that do get to the round of 32. So, it's what it is, isn't it? And then obviously, if a team wins in the round of 32 and they don't win in real life, it will look funny on the simulation thing, but what can you do? That is going to wrap up this one, though. Next, I believe, I say I believe, I'm Googling it because I don't actually remember where I'm at. It is going to be, oh, come on. Oh, I've scrolled too far. Ecuador and Curacao, so I guess we will see if Curacao can pull off something, or if Ecuador will make it interesting, that final match with Germany on the final match day. But that's going to end this one, though. Take care and enjoy the World Cup.